Hi guys, I'm just going to go through really quickly how to use this calendar and the modules, how they're going to be set up for you guys during this remote learning and as we get back to school eventually. So I'm going to jump into the student view really quickly. So what you see, and you notice that the homepage is a calendar. The options you have, or the three options we'll be using: the home, the module, and the announcements. I use announcements a lot to get stuff out to you guys during this remote learning. So if you don't have your announcements set up to receive notifications from Canvas, you might want to go into your settings and do that. So you are able to receive different announcements that I send to you guys through email or whatnot. If you're looking at the modules, this is how I organize all of the units and assignments that you guys are going to do. I am putting them on the calendar, which is an easy way to access them, but I do want to show you how the modules are set up so you can use that method as well if you want to. So how the calendar works: we meet Mondays and Wednesdays with periods 1, 2, 3, and Tuesdays and Thursdays with periods 4, 5, 6. So since I keep my STEM physics classes all on the same schedule, even though I have some meeting on Mondays and Wednesdays and some meeting Tuesdays and Thursdays, that's why I've grouped together Monday and Tuesday. We're going to do the same thing depending on your period. And this is what we did in the virtual class, so the live sessions that we have. And so today we went through some expectations for a couple periods, and then I went through whatever the assignment was on how to do it that I'm giving you. And then Wednesday, we're going to go through how to use this Canvas page. So I'm going to show you where some of these how-tos are. And we are going to join Explore Learning in class together. So everyone is in that course in order to do our virtual labs that we're going to do. So the second column is the assignments I give you on Monday. These are all going to be given to you on Monday. You don't have to get them all turned in right away, but this is going to be everything that is given to you. Now, everything that is given to you here will have a link to the actual assignment. So one thing that you have to complete is the matching game part 2. If you click that, it's going to take you to that assignment. Now, because I'm in a teacher, I can't see the Google Doc right now. It won't let me log in, but you guys would see a Google document. And if it did say log in like this, just make sure to hit authorize, and then you will see the document. So whatever the assignment is, you go ahead and find it by clicking on that, find your matches on the calendar. You can also click the next button at the bottom. So it'll take you to the very next assignment you have to do. So if you just want to keep going and not go back to the the calendar, sorry, you can click next and it'll take you to the very next assignment. So what's nice is make sure you know it'll say when it's due, everything's out of 100 points because we use the 4.0 scale. And so don't let that fool you. It's not a crazy weighted assignment at 100 points. It's just how we make it compatible with Skyward, and it'll give you, other information and the directions up here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the home page, and the calendar also has a third column. Now this is going to be the things that actually have to be turned into Canvas. So sometimes right now they match, they both had to be turned into Canvas, but sometimes you might see that I have some assignments that you have to do, but they're not going to be something that's necessarily going to be turned into Canvas. So it might be you have to do this reading in order to do the next assignment. So you might not be turning the reading into Canvas, but I'll have an assignment for the reading. And then the next assignment might be something you have to do, like a practice quiz about the reading, and that will have to be turned into Canvas. So all of the things that are linked here are the assignments you have to go through and do. The things that are just going to be showing up over here are things that you have to remember to turn in. So assignments are given on Monday and are all due Sunday before midnight. And then you can see that Friday, it's a work day for you all. So complete your reflections, log into Canvas, do any work, contact me for help. Sometimes I'll do small group stuff, etc. Okay. So this is a slideshow, which is really nice. So if you missed something from a previous week, you can go back by clicking the next and it takes you back in time. So last week's assignments, 9-9 through 9-11, we had the first part of the matching game, and then the remote learning expectations we talked about are linked there as well. So just using the calendar works well, but I'm going to show you that my assignments are all in modules. So I put a link here to modules and a link to Skyward if you want to quickly get to see your grade. But there's the modules link over here as well. So when you go to modules, it's going to take you to all of the assignments that we're doing in order. So up here is the general resources. I'm going to have the Join Explore Learning gizmos here. That's the thing that I linked in the calendar that we're going to do in the next couple of days. I'm also going to have a how-to video set up for this. So the how-to in the general resources, this video will go there along with how to do some other things that are important. Then you can see my module will be the unit we're in. Right now, this is just the get to know each other back to school stuff. So here's the first week. We had the remote learning expectations and we had the Flipgrid part 1 for the matching. And that was all under work week of 9-9 through 9-11. And then the second work week is what we're in now. And notice we had the next two things, the part 2 and the autobiography. I'll also have in here, if there's a quiz, the module will take you to the quiz as well. You don't have to visit this page if you don't want to, but some people like to see kind of a more linear, like what did we do this week? Okay, we did those. And what did we do this week? Okay, we did those. So the modules is the kind of second place that I would say check it out and go to. When you click these arrows, it actually knocks down the modules. Next week, we're going to get into the real physics stuff. So you're going to notice that as time goes on, more modules will be added. Once we get into the physics stuff, I'm always going to move the physics module up to the top under the back to school, because that's always going to stay at the top. But whatever module we're in, I'm going to move it up to the top. So it'll always be visible at the top of the screen, and you don't have to go all the way through everything to get to the next module. And my modules will be numbered. So I'm going to get out of student view so you can kind of see my modules and how I number them. So we have the general resources and back to school. I'm going to minimize those because we're going to be done with those soon. Maybe everything's slow motion. And notice module 0, we call it 0 because technically motion is not in our standards. It's a review, but we're going to start next week with the review module of 0. So then it'll go module 2, module 1, module 3. Notice 1, 2, 3 are in order, but when we get to 1, I'm going to actually move it up above 0 because we're going to be done with 0. We'll do 1. And when we get to 2, I'm going to move it up above 1. So we'll be in module 2 at the time. So all of these modules, I'm going to move to the top of right below back to school, but these will be what we're working on at the time. Okay, so that's how it works. So we'll go into module 0 very soon, starting next week. Okay, so hopefully that answers some questions on how to use the Canvas. Now remember, announcements will be there too. So any announcements that I've made, you can go back in and check those announcements. So I'll post little things to give you links. I know we've had a lot of issues with Zoom and Google Meets, but hopefully we'll get those all resolved and these announcements will stop. But I'll announce when there's a test and remind you about that. I'll announce when I put in a review, different things that I add. Sometimes I'll make announcements if they're important. Okay, so home module and announcements are what you will be using in our class. All right. See you on the next how-to.